έχει κεντρικό θέμα την υπερυπολογιστική επιστήμη στη μοριακή βιολογία. Το PerMed που εξειδικεύεται στην εξατομικευμένη ιατρική σε κλίμακα exascale. Και το CompBioMed που έχει να κάνει με την εφαρμογή υπολογιστικών μεθόδων στη βιοιατρική. Το οποίο σήμερα θα έχει μια παρουσία. Γι' αυτό θα το γυρίσω λιγάκι στα αγγλικά. So at this point, I would like to invite Mrs. Townsend-Nicholson, professor at UCL, and for today, a representative of the Center of Excellence, CompBioMed, which is focused on the use and development of computational methods for biomedical applications. I also notify that after her talk, it will be our first Q&A session addressed specifically to this talk, and then we'll continue. So the floor is yours, Mrs. Townsend-Nicholson. Thank you very, very much for being with us today.
There we go. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very pleased to be here. Are you able to see my slides okay? Or are we going to do the Zoom dance?
Thank you.
You're okay. Okay. Well, I am here today to speak to you, to introduce you to the Center of Excellence that is called CompBioMed, and to invite you and encourage you to work with us, link with us, join with us, collaborate with us, if what we're doing is in your areas of interest, and I hope to convince you that it will be. So CompBioMed is a center of excellence in biomedicine, and it is one of the Horizon 2020 funded centers of excellence. It was first funded in 2016 and has been renewed for its second round in 2019. And the basic vision of CompBioMed is to create a virtual human, a digital avatar that is an emergent technology that will allow clinicians to develop and refine personalized medicine strategies ahead of their clinical delivery to the patient. And this is something that will be achieved using HPC-based approaches to a great number of therapeutic areas. So because this is computational biomedicine, we have very diverse users and we have very diverse requirements of HPC for them. We support monolithic codes that potentially scale to the exascale and could scale beyond, and very complex workflows that integrate all of the clinical information that's required for decision-making. So we mix computational approaches with large heterogeneous data sets that come from medical records and from the experimental laboratories, and we use this information to underpin decision support systems for clinicians. So the goal is to use human scale health enabling through high performance computing. So we have diverse user communities, and there are 4 main communities. Each has different needs, each has different forms of engagement. We work with each of them according to their interests, to their needs. We provide scientific data, access to software, access to compute, and we work our way through to the training of new users. So computational biomedicine is a very, very new area, and many clinical and biological practitioners are not very familiar with computational methodologies beyond the desktop on a regular basis. And we also engage with the general public so that people have an understanding and an awareness of the science and the capabilities and the importance of being able to use compute to inform medicine and experiment. So we are building our community. We have 3 main ways. For users who are already on HPC, we are able to help scale their applications, moving them from the petascale to the exascale as these machines become available. But for users in the community who use desktop-based applications that could scale, we move them onto HPC, and then we try and migrate them as well. So training is an important aspect of this, and it's training at speed and at scale to move a large community into a new way of working. And we continually, through dissemination, engage with our key stakeholders to facilitate their understanding of the benefits of applying HPC to healthcare. So all of our codes are available on the CompBioMed software hub. We are currently working in 3 main areas that cover the human scale from molecules through to the integration of all biological structures and systems in what we call the digital avatar or the virtual human. And the 3 exemplars we are working on at present are molecularly based medicine, cardiovascular, and neuromusculoskeletal. So we're always happy to help anybody who wishes to use any of our codes. So please do contact us if there's something of interest to you there. We have a number of services, maintaining a service portfolio and maintaining relations with user communities. We have infrastructures, so we help to improve the usage of computing, and we integrate the data and the compute infrastructures. And then we have applications that furnish our users with the resources that they need to be able to deploy HPC at the scale most relevant to them and to encourage them to the use of higher scales for greater impact where that's relevant to them. So our infrastructure is, we have a number of HPC facility partners. We have a partner system that has an allocation program that gives flexible access to GPU and CPU machines. The UK national supercomputer Archer 2 was recently rebuilt and refreshed, and when it was in its initial phase of refresh before they finished the machine, there was a free 6-week period where users could use it as they wished. And we were able to encourage users in computational biomedicine onto the system, and they used almost 8 million core hours of it. And I believe it was something like 70% of the entire use of the machine was taken over by this user community. So it's a very new and growing and enthusiastic community who are increasingly able to make use of these resources. And of course, we have access to the tier 0 systems through the price allocations. We also have partners who are in the United States whose HPC systems are very similar, if not identical in ways, to Leonardo and Lumi, the machines that will be coming online shortly. And they provide us an opportunity to scale that is unique and of benefit. So our CompBioMed partners are located throughout Europe. You can see this in the red countries. We have associate partners that are located in these countries as well as many other countries in the yellow. And we're particularly keen to make sure that we expand our network of associate partners and collaborators and users and people who are interested in doing computational biomedicine within the EU13 and within the HPC underrepresented countries. And those are shown here on the map in light blue. So one of the things that I was particularly keen to bring to the attention of people today, in case you're interested, is the visitor program that CompBioMed has. I've put a link here for it, and it allows exchange of visitors in either direction for periods of between 1 week and 3 months, and the Center of Excellence provides travel costs for the successful proposals. And this is a fantastic opportunity for people to be able to come in and work with a CompBioMed partner or associate partner, or indeed to have somebody from CompBioMed go out and work with them. And it's a fantastic way of exchanging information and knowledge. And I would really hope that there will be people who would be interested in taking us up on this. We're very keen to expand the program and make sure that we afford opportunities for anybody who's interested to be able to find out more about and engage with computational biomedicine. We have, as a very important part of our package of work packages, engagement and training and sustainability. You can see in the first phase of CompBioMed, we grew our user numbers exponentially. You can also see from the graph that the cardiovascular domain is the most mature of the domains, and we're now starting to expand into these other domains. So we're particularly interested if people wish to work in integrative systems or in molecularly based medicine and would be interested in doing that with us. We have been training advanced users, we've been training medical students, we've been moving into medical schools and providing clinicians during the education phases of their training to understand about high performance computing, to become more familiar with it and to start thinking and reflecting on the things that they might wish to do with it in incorporating it into their clinical practice. We are absolutely committed to making sure that our reach is as inclusive and diverse as possible. So the EU 13 countries and the HPC underrepresented EU countries, we very much wish to engage with and would welcome any interest that you have with colleagues in these areas in joining with us in our endeavors in computational biomedicine. We have all kinds of coaching and large numbers of attendees in the dissemination and the training and the engagement that we're doing. We have channels, the In Silico World Community of Practice, that allows opportunities for people. It's a Slack-based platform, and it allows people to communicate with each other, to share expertise, to collaborate, to explore and to discover new areas that they might be interested in working in, or to troubleshoot or help resolve issues that they're encountering in areas that they're in. And it's basically a space that accommodates a wide diversity of levels of expertise and levels of interest within it. And the final thing that I wish to present to you here is the conference that CompBioMed will be having in September 2021 this year. We had originally planned to have it in Athens, and then we had the pandemic. So we hope to be able to come to Athens for our next CompBioMed conference. This one will be online, and we would very much welcome people's engagement with this. Please do consider joining us. Please do consider submitting an abstract for presentation. We'd love to see you there. We are really, really committed to making sure that as many people that we can reach as possible who are interested in the area in which we work are able to interact and work with us. So I think that is probably the end of what I was going to present. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity, and I just wanted to repeat again that we do very much enjoy the large number of productive and fun collaborations that we have, and we're looking forward to new collaborations, new interactions, and we hope that you would wish to join us in that. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Townsend. I'd like to initiate now a Q&A session. I will start with a question. Is there any activity in Greece of the Center of Excellence?
We have not yet really established an area of activity in Greece, but we are hoping to do it through training programs. And one of the things that we found in our first phase through the Barcelona Winter School, we had some Greek participants joining us from there. But the idea of summer schools and winter schools for people is something that suits an opportunity for engagement, and we are hoping to expand that training program in a way that would enable people to join us. So if you would be happy to help us host a Greek summer school, we would be well up for it.
It's a great opportunity, yes.
So in the internship opportunities that you mentioned, are the associated, the EU countries and also the associated countries, so the Balkan region, could they all participate in those?
I see absolutely no reason why they couldn't, Zoe. We would be very happy to. It's more about what people do necessarily than their particular region. It's a community that's nascent. And so any areas of interest that want to engage and want to carry something to the next level, we'd be very happy to find ways to support. And if it turns out that there is a particular administrative issue about a certain thing, we'll find a way to get around it, because it's the engagement that's important and facilitating the interaction.
And that includes industrial users as well?
Yes. And the industrial users is a very interesting point, because particularly in the pharmaceutical industry, many of them have not been using HPC as a routine part of their practice. And many of them have not, for example, been doing some of the multiple replica ensemble-based kinds of calculations that we have been doing as experimental drug discovery laboratories. And so there's a real opportunity to find a way to engage with industries to help them change their practice. And I think that COVID-19 helped in a large way with some of this, because suddenly the benefit of screening at scale to be able to repurpose compounds became much more obvious. So rather than using the technology for design of de novo drugs, using it for drug repurposing has been something that's come to people's awareness. So I believe that there will be increasing engagement with industrial participants and partners.
Yeah, that's excellent, because many times I hear from industry that I don't know where to start, I don't know how to use an HPC system, but I really have the need to. And so this is an excellent opportunity for someone to start with, I mean, with the competence centers, and then to move on to a real application with your help. That's really fantastic.
Actually, that's a really good point you make, and I had not sort of considered it in that context, but using some of these exchange programs and internships as an opportunity for understanding more about the needs of that particular user community would be a good way to allow us then to tailor training, because it's very easy for us, particularly to do online training with support, to be able to engage with people. So we can tailor training to specific groups. So not everybody might need to do an internship, not everybody might have the time for that, but we want to improve engagement.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I see a hand from someone. May I ask?
Hi.
Ekaterini?
Yes, let me just also, I cannot start the video. Okay, I just sent you a message in the chat. I was wondering what would be the background knowledge of the people that can join the internship program. So if they are, I have a couple of people that would be particularly interested, as we have recently gone into this area. But they are biologists. They are bench molecular biologists. They use bioinformatic tools. They analyze omics data, but that's all.
So I am a professor of biochemistry and molecular biology. Until 2017, my laboratory was 98% experimental, and now it's 85% computational. So I am exactly in the background of your postdocs, and we are increasingly engaging with people from backgrounds like mine and like theirs. And it's just an additional tool. And one of the benefits is that you can do a lot of computational predictions of important parts of your protein or your system or what you're looking at, and then go into the laboratory and do very, very targeted research. So instead of doing large screens and large scans and things like that, you can do much of your work computationally and then go in experimentally. So people find it hugely advantageous when they come to it, and there is no background required. We are formulating in our training a kind of a driving test or a range of expertise that goes from the desktop all the way up to an exascale machine, and we're partitioning it into subparts so that we can understand where somebody is, what sort of training they would require, what they come in with, what they require, what takes them to the next level. But there is no minimum requirement. There's just interest and motivation, I guess, is the minimum requirement.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks again.
As you can see, the raising hand feature is very useful. So please feel free to ask our speaker any questions you may have. I'll try to be moderating the raised hands if need be.
Your speaker is going to try not to leave accidentally by trying to look at the chat. And if anybody has questions, please do email us. I can, Lena, maybe I could send you, well, you have my email address. You're very welcome to make that available to people. If there are questions that occur to people afterwards that they'd like to ask,
I'll be happy to. And you could also have make your slides available for people that want to review them.
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
Contact you.
Yep, I'll send them to you.
Thank you. For the time being, I don't see any further raised hands.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for the opportunity. It's been a real pleasure to come join you. I'm sorry we won't be joining you in September, but hopefully in the not too distant future.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Townsend. I think really your talk was very, very useful. And I think this will be the opportunity, the beginning of a collaboration between the National Competence Center, this community, and your Center of Excellence.
That would be fantastic. Thank you, Ilya.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ωραία. Λοιπόν, να συνεχίσουμε.